So, hey everyone. I'm gonna talk about Bob the developer, which now doesn't make that much sense, but I hope it will. And I'm sorry this presentation was not rehearsed, but I didn't really have the time. I'm gonna talk about Bob, which is a fictitious character and just a random friendly software developer which has a few years of experience. Not too many, but has been doing stuff for some time. And it happens that Bob's team, which he currently works with, has a new project, and it's something they can do from scratch. There's nothing built in, it's a new project from their company. So they're all pretty psyched to work on something new. What the message that was given the team was that it's a very important project and the quality in this project really matters. So, the amount of bugs has to be really low. Think of it as your website's bank, for instance, where if it shows the wrong number, you're going to be really mad that it doesn't work and you want to pull your money out of there because you think they're incompetent. So maybe not that drastic, but something where bugs can cost clients. And it's a new project, so there's no legacy code they have to work with, and they have total freedom to use whatever tech they want. As long as they deliver what is intended, it doesn't matter. So what technology does the team decide to use? They transform into monkeys and start fighting about programming language, as you've probably seen a lot. And after the discussion, what they decided, the project is very important, so let's use the technology that we're used to work, because that is how we know how to work. If we use something new, we might break stuff without knowing why it's breaking, and then things go southways. So the team is aligned, they start building stuff, and after a while they start shipping stuff into production, and it all goes well, but a few bugs start popping out. Bugs are part of software development, so it happens to have a few bugs here and there. The team does not get concerned, and they keep building stuff, they keep shipping stuff, and the complexity of the project starts really growing, and it's becoming harder and harder to manage. So it's now actually really hard to work on that project. More and more bugs get into production, and features take more and more time to be developed because the code is a mess. So the boss comes in really angry, like, I told you we cannot have bugs. If you need, what do you need to not make this happen? This is really so. They take a deep breath, and then the boss says clearly, Bob, what should we do to solve this problem? And Bob already knows the answer. It's very simple. It's just 3 words and we'll fix everything. It's refactor, refactor, refactor. That will fix the whole thing, right? So refactor time, they refactor like madmen and try to make the project really clean. But stuff is really hard. A lot of the old bugs that they knew existed were fixed by the refactoring, but the project is still quite complex because there's a lot of stuff built in, and so a lot of bugs are still getting shipped, and features still take a lot of time to develop because stuff is complex, right? And so the boss is still really angry because they're still getting a lot of bugs. And so how do we fix it, Bob? Last time you didn't fix it. And so Bob starts going crazy. I don't know what to do. I apply the recipe that I know. It's refactor, 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 and now what am I going to tell my boss? And so, but that's just Bob in his head. In front of his boss, he's like calm, really thinking of the answer to give him, right? He's just freaking out on his head, but poker face is there. And so he makes the smart move, and I need some time to think about it. I will think about it, and I will come up with an answer for you later. And so, well, refactor didn't work, so I need to have a stepped approach to solve this problem of shipping less bugs. So step 1, I take a bathroom break to clean the sweat because that meeting made Bob really nervous. the boss was really confronting, and it made Bob nervous. So let's clean off the sweat. And step 2, think about the problem. But thinking is gonna get him to his previous experience, and his previous experience told him that refactoring was the answer, and refactoring did not solve the whole issue. So Bob actually needs some help, because thinking by himself is not getting any further. So he asks a senior developer that is around the company, well, what can we do? And he says, well, bugs happen. I don't know what answer you're looking for. It gets better with more years of experience and more time messing with the same code base, but doing software is hard, and you just have bugs. That's part of it. And so the senior guy just said that it's part of it, so shrug. What can Bob do? It's how life works, right? You can't bend the rules of the game. So, but can we actually do better than this? Could Bob have taken a better approach or done something different? And so I do believe there's at least 3 things we can do, not to end up like Bob, that we don't know how to work in a better way. And so the first is research on how to do better, because a lot of people are working like us and explore ways to do better. So start by researching stuff. The internet is a very beautiful place with a lot of stuff you can learn. We can learn from each other in presentations like we have here, like share the knowledge that you have with other people so they can improve on little areas. And actually change the process of how you work in order to be able to try some of these ideas and improve your process in your workplace. Because if you don't make quality a priority, it's not going to happen. And if you don't take measures, doing the same thing over and over is not going to get different results. So since I was talking about sharing, let me share a little bit of what currently works for my team for shipping less bugs. I'm not saying bugs never happened. Of course, bugs do happen. I'm like Bob. I also ship bugs. But they happen less because we take these measures. So automatic testing, I took this from a website which you can see below. There's a lot of types of tests that you can make on your code. So if you see what kinds of bugs you're currently having, you can search what types of tests should your team adopt to solve those kinds of issues, so they get caught in the development process and you ship less stuff. I'm not going to say doing all kinds of testings is the answer. You got to see what fits into your workflow, but you can only use the tools that you know that exist. So yeah, and the website also has descriptions for all those kinds of testing, so you can get an idea. We also have very strict build. So when we use our compiler, we have static analysis. We have 2 analyzers just for bugs. We have a tool that makes us program all in the same style, and the build fails if we don't follow the style rules. And we also have a compiler plugin that I made for a specific kind of bug that I got annoyed that was not made possible by the Java compiler to catch. So if you make these restrictions, it gets annoying, the process of compiling, because you have some hurdles here and there, but it actually improves your process. And on pull requests, we have this. We work with pull requests. I'm going to wrap up just a little bit. We have this list by default, and we have to put in this description of what's new, what's changed, the tests that we did manually, and if someone didn't do enough manual tests, we say, well, you got to test this, this, and that. But we do trust that the person told the truth, or else I wouldn't want to be working with them. And we have a checklist for stuff, booted the app because some stuff doesn't get caught in the tests, like database migrations. Tested the endpoints because I work in backend that were affected by the change, updated our documentation, and you can build your own checklist that makes sense for your team. For other teams in my company, we have different checklists. We also review all the codes, all the lines in the codes, and comment on everything that you don't understand or that you think could be done better. And as I said, this goes back to quality being a priority, and having a non-developer doing QA, a QA person, if you have. If not, try to have someone that didn't develop the feature test it before it actually goes into production. And I hope you didn't fall asleep meanwhile like that dude. And thank you. That was it.